Mariners win 4-3. They improved to 25-21 on the season, and they even the series with the Baltimore Orioles at a game apiece. Let's go over the scoring plays. Second inning, Austin Hayes hit a sacrifice fly that scores Jordan Westberg 1-0. Inning later, the Orioles expand that lead. Rhino Hearn singles to center to score Jorge Mateo 2-0 at the end of three. Not a whole heck of a lot happens from the third until the seventh, but the Mariners get on the board in the seventh with a Mitch Haniger ground out to third to score Luke Raley. Haniger was pinch hitting. It's worth pointing that out as well. And then Ty France doubles to right to score Dylan Moore 2-2. In the eighth inning, who else but Big Dumper comes up with a very big hit. Double to left to score Julio Rodriguez 3-2. And then Dylan Moore doubles home Cal Raleigh to make it 4-2. Orioles do get one in the ninth. Gunnar Henderson absolutely clobbers a Andre Munoz pitch to left center to make it 4-3. But the Mariners are able to get it done and get as big a win as you could possibly have on May 18th. I mean, there's so much baseball left to be played, blah, 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 blah. I thought this was significant. And I'll tell you why as we get a little deeper into the video. Real quick, I want to remind everybody that we have a Mile Y enthusiast chat tomorrow at 2 o'clock. That is for subscribers only, not just people who are subscribed to the channel, but those who have joined the paid tier. It's $4.99. You get that. You get a bunch of other stuff. I really appreciate those who have joined. Totally understand those who aren't interested. But if that is something that you think you would be interested in doing, please and thank you. And one other thing real quick. I've talked about merch before. We will have merch coming out in the next couple of weeks, or at the very least by the end of the summer. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. I don't know how hard the process is going to be, but I've got a logo for a hat now, thanks to the awesome Samuel Joseph, who also designed the normal Mile Y logo. The normal, you know what I mean. Anyway, that stuff's coming. I'm going to be promoting the heck out of that too. Thank you guys so much. Your support means the absolute world to me. You know what? I don't really have a negative here. I guess there was one thing. Dom Canzone is such a bad defensive player. I know you're supposed to sugarcoat these things, and no, he's bad. The Mariner corner outfield defense right now is atrocious. Luke Raley's not bad, but one spot every day is bad. Be it Haniger, be it Canzone. They're not good enough. They're not good enough defensively. That triple cost them a run and nearly cost him this baseball game. He's a bad defensive player. I don't know how much longer you can put up with this. That's just my honest opinion. I don't think that there is a lot of debate about it. But oh boy, just watching him, I joked about it yesterday on Twitter. Anytime a ball hits the wall, and I know you can make the obvious joke about the Canzone injury, and let's not do that. But he just looks so uncomfortable. There's just such a lack of instinct out there. I don't know how long you can make this a tenable thing. That's my only negative from this game. Truly my only negative from this game. So we'll get into the positives, and we'll start with Simply Seattle, the very best in Seattle sports gear. Great stuff for the Mariners, of course. The Kraken, the Seahawks, the Huskies, the Storm, the Sounders. You can find it all at Simply Seattle. Once you find everything you're looking for, enter code MOLLYWOP15 to save 15% off your order, MOLLYWHOP15. If I said that too fast, if you just can't remember stuff like that, hey, make it nice and easy for you. There's a link to the website and a link to that code in the description. Just copy and paste it. Easy breezy. We do that. Lord knows we all are copying and pasting as much as possible, and we should. Why make things harder? SimplySeattle.com. Thank you very much. Luis Castillo had to battle today. And I think he had a very impressive start when he clearly did not have his best stuff, nor his best command. But he still held this Baltimore lineup to 2 runs over 6 innings. That's pretty impressive. And it should have been 1. It should have been 1. If Canzone fields that ball cleanly, they do not score or run that inning. Flat out. And I think that the way Castillo was able to battle today is why he's still my ace. Logan Gilbert has pitched better. George Kirby at times has pitched better. But Luis Castillo has, number one, been amazing. Lowers his ERA today to 3.28. That'll certainly play. Has missed plenty of bats in the process, too. So we're not just going by ERA. But the fact he was able to work through that. I think there are some Seattle Mariner fans who question the toughness of Luis Castillo. You better not after watching a start like that. There's no reason to. That was toughness. That was getting through against probably the most complete lineup in baseball right now. The Dodgers have a little bit of an argument. The bottom of their lineup kind of stinks, though. This lineup is just filled with tough outs. It's really tough, and I was really impressed with what I saw from Castillo. The bullpen did its job. They didn't give up a run. It was a little shaky. Shout out to Ryan Stanek. Getting through that was big. Oh, it was so big. And same for Trent Thornton. You know, he does issue the walk, but he gets the big strikeout. He threw one of the best sliders I've seen. Of course, the reason there was 2 strikes is because that umpire stunk. What a horrible missed call. But they took advantage of it, and he got the job done. And then Andre Munoz, you know, he gives up the homer. And that's not good. But thank goodness he had a 2-run lead. And I think you have to give just a ton of credit there to Gunnar Henderson. My buddies at Suspetta's Family Barbecue, I believe, tweeted he's the second left-hander to hit it over that deep part of the wall. The place they call Baltimore now. What a different ballpark that place is now. So weird. So weird. But he challenged him, and it didn't work out. Thank goodness they had a 2-run lead, and he's able to get 2 big strikeouts, including striking out Adley Rutschman. Andre Munoz has been phenomenal. And it's awesome that he was able to give up a run, you know, because he had gone a bunch of scoreless outings in a row. Give up a run, and it doesn't hurt you. Hurts his ERA. It's all the way up to 1.86 now. But it doesn't hurt your chances of winning or losing the game. By the way, just real quick. No, you don't. I don't know the right way to say this without calling him out. So I'm just going to skip it. If you have questions, my DMs are open. Anyway, very nice job by the pitching staff. A few too many walks and not a ton of strikeouts here, only 6. But they battled. They really battled. In particular, Castillo. You know, Gabe Spire only gets 1 out and gives up a hit and a walk. He just hasn't looked like the same pitcher lately. But Stanek is able to get out of that jam with a huge strikeout. Thornton does his job. Munoz does his job even while giving up the run. And then offensively, there's some good games here. Josh Rojas walks a couple of times. Rally, obviously, with the big double, because of course he does. That's all he does is come up with big hits. One other negative I was going to point out was that Mitch Garver. That was a tough game. And shout out to Grayson Rodriguez. Welcome back. To do what he did without having a rehab start tells you why a lot of people think he's the best, one of the best young pitchers in baseball. He's going to be a star. Baltimore's building something really special. Kind of hate the way they went about it, but they're here now. And oh boy, are they going to be in trouble. Trouble. Julio with a couple of hits and shows off the speed by scoring on that double. Dylan Moore with a couple of doubles. Ty France with the big hit. You know, it wasn't a great offensive effort, but they did enough to get into the one thing I think Baltimore doesn't have great. I mean, you look at the ERA for the bullpens of the guys that they hit, and they're all pretty good. And none of those guys are without talent, in particular, Yenny A. Cano, excuse me, Cologne. It's been a while. It's been a long day too. Mostly the latter. They hit some good pitchers today, but I think that's the one thing that's keeping Baltimore from, like, if there was anything to upgrade on, I think it's that. Maybe the starting pitching just because of some injury concerns, but certainly not the lineup. They are just flipping loaded. Loaded. So yeah, just a really good win. And let me tell you why I think this win is so big. Number one, it does give you a chance to win a series against the best team in the American League tomorrow with George Kirby on the mound. A chance to win a series against the best team in the American League with George Kirby, one of the very best pitchers in baseball right now, is a really nice thing. Obvious point, super obvious, but it's still worth pointing out. Absolutely worth pointing out. And you avoid the sweep. You avoid, for now, this road trip becoming a disaster. This series can't be a disaster now. I'm sorry. You take 1 of 3 against Baltimore, you take it. It's not the goal, but it's far from a bad result. Far from it. I'm sorry. I want the Mariners to win every game. You know that. You know that, but it's not realistic. And if you're going to lose a series against Baltimore on the road. Doesn't mean that I won't scream and shout if they play like crap tomorrow. I'm just saying that at least you take not a moral victory, not even a consolation prize, but you avoid the disaster. And no matter what team you play, getting swept is pretty darn close to a disaster. This was a good win where they played extremely well over the last few innings. You know, it wasn't a great offensive effort to begin the game, obviously. It took a kind of weak Julio hit to break up the no-no. But I was really impressed with the way they battled. And I'll go back to it. I was really impressed with how much Luis Castillo battled in particular. I've said really like 6,000 times in this video. Oh, well. I'm extremely happy with this win. Extremely. Doesn't mean that I won't get disappointed if they lose tomorrow. But today was good. Today was really good. And then tomorrow, what a terrific pitching matchup. George Kirby against Corbin Burnes. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Hope the Mariners are able to solve him, but Corbin Burnes can be pretty darn tough. Pretty darn tough. But you know what? So can George Kirby. Saw George Kirby shut this team out over 9 innings not that long ago. It was 2023, but that's not that long ago. Oh, series win here would be just phenomenal, but I'm pretty darn happy with just the one win right now. You can just only take it day by day, and this was a good one. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. And again, tomorrow, 2 o'clock, we will do a chat. Really appreciate it, and yeah, good win.